Hi friends, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to show you how I mix the bass for this particular song. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So this is the bass, here we go. As you can see here, I've got two tracks for the bass. I've got the low end and then the amp section, let's call it that way. Both of them will go into a bus, which will be this one over here, which I call bass master, and there's a little bit more of processing here. So just to have an idea, I'm going to mute these, I'm going to mute the drums as well, take off all the processing, and then we can listen how it actually sounded when it was recorded. After all the processing, and both tracks of the bass together sound like this. So it's quite simple though. There are not too many plugins here on these two tracks, and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on here. Let's break it down. So first of all, what I tend to do most of the times, not always, but most of the times, I create this bass low track, and on this particular case, I'm basically removing everything after 100 Hertz. So we call it a low pass filter. And straight after that, I've got a compressor that is basically compressing that sound. So I'm controlling all the low end. And then we've got a limiter. It's giving it a little bit of level as well, but basically making everything sound a little bit flat, let's say, because we want this area of the bass to stay there. We want to listen to it, to hear it, to feel it as well, because it's low end, but we want it to keep it very straightforward so we don't lose a lot of power every time it changes the notes. So that was my processing basically for the low end of the bass. Now for the bass amp, so we start with this plugin, which is a free version. It's actually a free plugin from Voodu, Bass Overdrive, that emulates a Sans amp, very well-known pedal back in the day, back in the 90s. This was an extremely well-known pedal. After that, we've got a bass amp, and for that particular case, I'm using this MPEG, I think it's VST3, SVT3 Pro. That's the one. Very popular as well for, you know, heavy metal and heavy rock. It has this particular sound. And after that, we've got an EQ where I'm basically high passing a lot of frequencies. So it's a roll off at, in this particular case, 250 Hertz. Everything under 250 Hertz, it was completely removed. And then, so there's a dip here at 3K, because I'm trying to tame the clanky part of the bass. After that, we've got a compressor, and then we've got Echo Boy. So let me remove these plugins. We'll start with this one. It's a free plugin. Keep this in mind. It's a great plugin. So let's have a listen. And just by itself, it gives a great sound to this track. Then let's put this amp and check how it sounds. If I remove this amp, let's mute or bypass the plugin, I'm sorry. With the plugin. This way you've got that typical Ampac sound. So after that we've got Claro, which is the EQ, removing the low end and taming the clankiness of the bass. So as you can tell, this way we can actually have a great perception of all single notes that he's playing. The pick is a bit more forward, but that's exactly what I'm trying to do because of all the guitars happening here at the same time. We need to keep that in mind. And then we've got the compressor. Let's check what's going on here. An Echo Boy, it's because I'm creating basically a chorus effect here. And with the amp and only the amp track, I'm trying to give this width to the bass that makes it more interesting, in my humble opinion. And now on the master bus, let's have a listen, both tracks together. If I remove the Echo Boy, have a listen. And now with the Echo Boy, you can actually feel that the bass is moving slightly from the left side to the right side, and Chris Lord-Alge uses this trick a lot. Okay, so then on the master bus of the bass, we've got all these plugins. I'm going to remove these plugins. Let's have a listen. And now with it, once again, I'm trying to control the bass. I'm not trying to change the tone of the bass here. It's more about control than anything. So for that purpose, I've got this free EQ as well, okay, Nova. And what it's doing, it's basically, let me bypass these plugins. When it gets a little bit too clanky, you know, because of those high notes, it just controls, it's a dynamic EQ, it just controls those, you know, really aggressive notes, in the sense of some of the frequencies there get really annoying. And this is basically controlling those frequencies, which is around what? Let me see here, 3K for a change. 3K, most of the times in digital realm, 3K is quite annoying. You've got to be careful with it. Then I've got this Neve channel. Let's see what's going on here.
Want to produce ambient, jazzy, chill-out songs? This is the perfect sample pack for you. You'll get 204 chords, 57 guitar licks, chords from the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings for more natural chord changes, diminished and open chords, presets for Maschine and Ableton. Get now your sample pack.
There's a little bit of, 800? Yeah, 800 hertz that I'm pushing here. It's just to make it a little bit more in your face. Let's see. Yeah, just pushing a little bit of these frequencies, and then I'm cutting a little bit at 120, which is always the area that gets a little bit muddy. And we need to be careful because we might lose a lot of the weight right down there. So it's, it's hard, but it's this balance between the kick, even the snare as well, and the bass that is going to make your track sound fat or not. And it's really hard because if you push it too much, it's going to sound, in the real world, it's going to sound really bad because it's just going to muffle everything around, even will bury the voice, will bury the guitars as well. And you've got to be careful because when it translates in the real world, it's not the same way we listen to it, in this environment, studio speakers. After that particular plugin, which is the Neve channel, we've got this compressor, another compressor. One of the reasons why I use this compressor for bass a lot of times, it's because, as you can see, it's not doing a lot, but it has a sound, and the way it controls the low end, you've got this big low end, but it's not that low end that overpowers everything. I don't know what it does, but what does it really well. So I use this particular plugin for bass a lot of times because when I feel like it's a little bit too much bass, but I don't want to lose the low end, this does something that, it's, in my humble opinion, it's magic. So after that, we've got another limiter. Once again, we want to control the bass, keep it right there, and let's see how it sounds with the limiter. It's not doing a lot. Sometimes here and there it's going to reduce probably 1 or a couple of dBs, and that's it. But now let's listen to it, the bass with the drums and the guitars. That is one of the things that is super important. So we've got to have this reference. It's the bass by itself. It sounds great, but that's nothing because the bass, it's not playing by itself the whole song. If it was, it would be a completely different thing. But now we've got to check how it sounds in the mix, mainly with the guitars. There you go. Simple. This is the bass sound. It sounds, to my ears, it sounds really good with the guitars and the drums. So, it's better to not complicate things. That if they sound good, let's leave them the way it is. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please make sure that if you like the video, give a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. If you want to make your track sound professional, sound really great, and if you like my sound, please send me a message or send me an email to mixyoursound@gmail.com, and I'll give you all the information you need. If you've got any doubt, write in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel and I'll be back soon with another video with the guitars of this particular song. See you next time. Thank you and bye.